Pattaya says no to water fights. Love is blind. And in Thailand, we say no to scams. That's all coming up on today's Good Morning Thailand. Hello and welcome to Good Morning Thailand, brought to you by Coffee Culture and My Beach Resort, presented by Tim Newton and Jay.
And say no to just about everything today.
Just don't do it.
You'll see why we're doing that later.
You'll get that reference.
Can I just apologise? I arrived in Bangkok on Tuesday.
Okay.
And I noticed I'd forgotten my razor.
And you've got a whole stubble thing going on.
Yeah, but I know it's not very noticeable. I mean, if you don't shave for an hour, it's noticeable.
Yeah.
You sort of look like the sort of creature from the Black Lagoon. But I can probably get away with it for 2 or 3 days, but it's rather uncomfortable to sleep like this because I've been very clean-shaven all my life. So I apologise if I look a bit rough around the edges, more so than usual.
Is it even an issue? Is that even an issue?
Well, it is to me.
Okay.
And that's all that matters.
And that's
but
all
we
that
do
matters.
have a lot to talk about.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do have timestamps, so you can go to the timestamp regarding the story you're actually here for. Now, the first story we're going to be talking about is the DSI, which is basically the Thai version of FBI. Everybody knows the FBI.
Department of
Special Investigations. So the DSI of Thailand have released a music video. And you might be confused, saying like, why would the Thai FBI release a music video? Well, this is to stop scams.
This is like trying to a campaign to stop the online scams. People ringing up and saying, "Hey, do you want to buy some crypto or whatever it is?"
That's right.
I thought the video was going to include the Prime Minister, because there was a photo on Monday of the
Him
Prime
promoting
Minister
the campaign,
going like this. And I thought, "Oh, great! The Prime Minister's dancing. We must run this video." But as it happens, he's not in the video.
He's not, unfortunately.
But it's still actually a really good video. We're going to run some of it?
Yes.
Here we go.
Now the song is playing, I believe this is a Luk Tung song.
Luk Tung, it's very Isan.
Yeah, Luk Tung style song. It's actually very catchy.
It is very catchy, and it's good. A lot of this sort of going on.
Yeah, they're just trying to promote this as in like, this is the sign saying no.
Oh, it's got to have the fingers out.
Yes.
Sorry, I got it wrong. Nothing to do with karate.
Say no to scams. If you get a scam call, say no to that.
Yeah, so it might be effective. Did we check how many times the video's been downloaded so far? We didn't,
no,
did
we have not, no. But it makes sense.
Carmel might like to do that.
They've possibly, I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, they've gone through and seen what is the demographic of people in Thailand who are actually scammed through these online scammers and scammers from, wherever they're based in. And they must have decided that, all right, we need to target perhaps the people from Isan. Maybe they're targeted and they're scammed the most. So let's make the song a Luk Tung song.
One thing I really noticed, and you mentioned, is that there's a very strong accent.
Yes.
That comes out in the singer's vocals. So you would describe that as like
as soon as you hear it,
it's an Isan sort of accent.
Yeah.
And the music is what's they call Luk Tung.
Luk Tung.
It's great. It's actually it's a good vibe.
Yes.
Do we have a link in the description,
they like
Jay?
to party there. A link in the description to the song.
Yeah.
No, but I can put it there.
We'll put a link in the description.
So you too can enjoy saying no to scams.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Fingers out.
It's great when you can listen to a song and don't understand a word because,
But still enjoy it.
Yeah, some songs, even in English, have no meaning, but you can enjoy it.
Well, the biggest band in the world at the moment sings mostly in South Korean.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Do you want a little information on why they, to add some credibility to the video?
Please do.
All right. Well,
anything to add credibility to the program or to the video would help.
Yeah, the DSI has come out and said, don't believe anyone and don't just transfer your money when people call you, from the police, saying that they're from the police department or from the government, asking for your bank details. Don't do it. Don't transfer your money. And some of the lyrics of the song, this great song, include, fear makes you lose judgment, Tim. And remember, don't give up. Don't transfer.
Okay, so...
Just don't do it, man. Just don't do it.
I think... Would I be right in saying that some Thai people are particularly susceptible to these sort of scams?
Yes.
And I think this sort of campaign is a really good idea.
Yeah. Is this a serious issue? Yes. Have they done it in a, they've done it lightheartedly in a fun music video to get to them. But yes, this is a real issue that people unfortunately do face on a daily basis. So if this does get the attention that it is getting, we're clearly talking about it. Raise awareness. Let's stop online scamming.
It just would have been better if the Prime Minister was there doing this thing.
That would have sold it. Re-election.
I would have never have answered the phone again.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on to our second topic, which is regarding some bad news for people in Pattaya and Thailand in general. No Songkran water fights in Pattaya. The mayor has come out and confirmed. However, he has said that they're going to spotlight and highlight the traditional and religious activities of Songkran instead, which you gently put water and cleanse yourself and to your parents and older people in the family. This is due to the fears and concerns of COVID-19. Water and foam events, as well as alcohol consumption and celebrations, will be prohibited for another year. So, bad news for the people planning to party in Pattaya.
Over the weekend, the Bangkok Metropolitan Authority said, we are going to allow Songkran parties. And people went, yay! But there's going to be no alcohol, no water throwing. You're going to have to wear a mask. So it looks like down in Pattaya, where they've got that huge festival each year. Well, it goes for about 10 days. Mm-hmm. What's it called? I think it's in the story. The something festival? People down in Pattaya know.
The festival in Pattaya?
No, there's a special Songkran water festival. It goes on for 10 days.
Oh, okay.
But they're saying that's going to happen, except that there's going to be no water throwing, no. But clearly what they're doing in Pattaya is they're going to have Songkran there, but they're going to wrap it around locals and local traditions.
Okay.
Because, obviously there's not a lot of international visitors at the moment, not only in Pattaya but other parts of the country as well. So it looks like they're going to be wrapping Songkran around the local traditions there, and that's probably a smart idea. And of course, any international visitors or expats that are here, we can go in and join in, but without the water throwing. I'm thinking that a lot of expats would actually say, that sounds like something I think I'd rather enjoy rather than the local, the water throwing parties, which can get completely out of control.
But when you haven't been able to do it for 2 years, perhaps it's brought back the fire of playing Songkran once again.
Won't be happening this year.
You only miss it when it's gone. Carmel's got a comment.
Yeah, comment from Welsh32. Well, that's good news. Do we want water spreading COVID just as they start easing restrictions for people coming to Thailand?
Well, let me tell you, the water that is usually thrown is sort of pumped out of canals and all sorts of strange places where not even COVID would dare to live.
Yeah.
It's...
I think you'd be worried about other toxins and other stuff.
Plenty of other things to worry about.
There's always one or two people, or at least a couple of people who, take it a bit too far. They mix some powder in the water. They try to hit you in the eye and,
it's called prickly heat.
Get a laugh out of it.
Prickly heat powder?
Yeah, they put prickly heat powder, or also,
is that right, Norm? Prickly heat powder.
It's also the other powder that you're supposed to put on the face. Some people do stupid things.
It does get out of control in some, but I mean, it can be fun as well. But for those people that have experienced Songkran full on, then it's not going to be happening this year. It's going to be subdued. They're saying Songkran parties are on, but no water splashing, no alcohol, no music, no fun, no smiling.
No smiling.
Well, that's what they're basically saying, isn't it?
All right.
So the Pattaya mayor has spoken out. So all the hope. I mean, if you're a tourism operator, if you were a bar owner, if you were a hotel owner, you would have been out there praying every day at the temple, saying, "Please, please, let Songkran happen this year," because it was sort of the last bastion of any attraction to international tourists before we head into the wet season in Thailand, which is going to be low tourist numbers no matter what happens. That happens every year. So I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed that the authorities have decided that Songkran's happening, but it's not happening.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, more information for any news relating to Songkran and their restrictions can be found on thetiger.com.
Well, we'll also have locations of where Songkran will be celebrated and to what extent you'll be able to celebrate it as it gets a bit closer. We will be working right throughout Songkran.
Yes.
Well, actually, Jay's not. He's having the time off. But I'll be with
Am
you
I?
because I'm dedicated.
Okay. Sure. I didn't know that until just
Carmel,
now.
she's going away. She's
Carmel's gone the week before, I think.
She having an extended honeymoon. That
What?
guy she met last week.
Yeah.
I
I
can't
have a
believe it
question.
just happened like that. They've just
I have a question.
When you're in love, we've got a great story about falling blindly in love today. Have you got a
Like
question,
Carmel.
Carmel?
From Alex Tai, is the creepy self-mutilation festival still on for Phuket?
the creepy self-mutilation festival.
What is
We're
that?
referring to the
Like
vegetarian,
festival. Oh, okay.
They held it the last 2 years, but again, it was sort of a bit toned
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
But they did have the what are those guys called, or the girls, where they put and they're at the head of the
Prasong.
Ma Song.
No, Pra Song.
Ma Song.
Oh, Ma Song. Okay. Apologize. I thought you said Pra. I thought you pronounced it incorrectly.
That's I never mispronounce Thai words. How could you accuse me of that? That is still on, and they've had it the last couple of years, but it's been a bit subdued. But yeah, that is, what did he call it? The something self-mutilation festival?
Yeah, the creepy self-mutilation
Yeah,
festival.
the creepy self-mutilation.
It is difficult to understand for a lot of people.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
difficult for some Thai people to understand because it's that the vegetarian festival is more for the Chinese Thai culture.
Yeah, it is. If you've never been to Thailand before, if you've never been exposed to that sort of, it's a complete brain. It's wow.
If you do Google it, please beware for some extremely graphical content. Yeah.
it's crazy.
All right, let's now talk about the Thai Riviera.
Oh, this is a really good story.
80 million baht, ladies and gentlemen, is all it takes to build a Thai Riviera from one coastal area to the rest of Thailand, basically.
Now, don't run that footage yet, Norm. We'll hang on to it. The first one we'll run will be the French Riviera, okay? So we'll run that one first.
Okay.
So what do you think? You can run the footage now. What do you think when you think about the Riviera? What images come into your mind? Riviera,
France,
France,
baguettes,
Monte Carlo, Italy,
wine.
the coastal road.
Oh, okay.
The coastal road and Portofino and I
Nice
might have the wrong
scenic
coast.
views.
Scenic views and sort of sweeping.
Driving in a convertible.
Yeah, now we're talking. You're
Yeah.
in your Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Hair streaming. Well, not in my case, but hair streaming out the back and a
Yeah.
scarf and a.
Yeah.
That's-
This is clearly a dream, so that makes sense. Yeah.
So that video, by the way, that you're watching at the moment, that is of some of the Riviera Road.
Yeah.
In Nice.
Yeah.
Which is in France.
That's right.
So that coastal road goes all the way through France and into Italy, and they call that the Riviera. But they're talking of running a Riviera or building a Riviera type
Yes.
road in Thailand. Off we go.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Beginning in Ranong, the road will run through Phang Nga, Phuket, Krabi, Trang, and end in Satun province. The road is part of Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha's plan to boost the economy and tourism in southern Thailand.
I love the idea,
Yeah.
but I would dispute whether it's actually going to go through Phuket.
Why must there always be a but?
Because they mentioned 6 provinces, but the way they drew the map, it just bypasses Phuket. Because, of course, you've got to go across Saracen Bridge into Phuket.
Yeah.
And then you've got to traverse a whole lot of Tepkasatri Road before you can get onto a coastal road. And that little coastal road between, say, Kamala and, Surin and Patong, that is a sort of a Riviera-style road.
Yeah.
But I think they're talking about actually building a coastal road. But they're saying it's only going to cost 80 million baht?
So far, they've asked for a budget of 80 million baht for it to be approved.
Well, that's not going to build much
Well,
road.
if the budget gets approved, the Office of Transport will spend the next 2 years making a development plan, which will then be presented to the Transport Ministry for approval sometime after May 2024.
So,
Could that be the future, Tim?
they must be using existing roads and they're just going to add to it.
Okay.
As the
Possibly.
cleaner comes past and
Possibly.
completely oblivious that we're on YouTube, that's okay. So, and it's going to go all the way from Ranong down to Satun.
Satun.
So that's a pretty... If you were to drive that at the moment, that's going to take you 15 hours?
A lot longer.
It's 5 hours from Phuket to Ranong.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've done that a few times because I used to do border runs at Ranong. You just
Oh.
jump in the long-tail boat, go over to Myanmar, get the rubber stamp.
You're one of those people. The border run person.
Well, I used to have a visa. This is
This is a long time ago you're talking about.
no. This is actually when I started working with Thaiger.
Oh.
We were a bit disorganised in those days, and I had a visa that I had to actually leave the country every 3 months. It was a proper B visa,
Okay.
but I had to leave the country. And I could either fly to Penang, which I started doing later on, every 3 months, which was great, or I drive up 5 hours to Ranong, and it's quite an interesting road. We've run some of that video of the Ranong tour.
เหมืองเส้นแม่ฮ่องสอนนั่นแหละครับ
It's only like
108
and then I used to jump on the long tail.
เสียงรถนะ
เหมือนคนแบบ
มากระหำกระหื่นกระหือรือโอ้โห
มาเชเต้เนี่ย
สับแต่ละสับขนกันมา
Drive to Thailand have a nice road. A lot of Thai local people love to drive. I know.
เดี๋ยวที่เที่ยว
Like people from Bangkok, people from Phuket,
And
they
some
like to, why? Like a lot of people enjoy long drives.
Some of them even get licenses.
Yeah. Oh no. Swiftly moving on to our next topic, which is regarding Deltacron. Now, Tim, I'm going to throw this to you.
Aye.
Deltacron. What's all that about, eh?
Well, okay, so this Deltacron was originally reported, I don't know, some 6 weeks ago in Cyprus.
Okay.
And at the time, they went Deltacron, new variant of COVID-19. And people went, what? And what did they go? What?
Yeah.
Then it's been referred to an international organisation that checks all these new viruses, and then, of course,
Yes,
the WHO.
we are aware of this
And they said,
recombinant.
look, we don't know
It's a
much about it at the
combination
moment. We're
of
investigating it. But it's
Delta
been reported
AY.4 and
more
Omicron
by different
BA.1.
countries.
It's been detected,
In
but
Thailand,
there are very low levels
in
of
the,
this
are we running that
detection.
clip?
The
Yes, we are
recombinant
running that
itself,
clip.
this is
I think
something
we're
that
gonna run
is
it
expected given
by
the
itself, aren't we?
large amount of
We were
circulation, the
supposed-
intense
Noor, do you
amount of
want to just
circulation that
hold
we
on
saw
that?
with
It's got sound as well. Go back to the start. We'll run that in just a moment.
Yeah.
So, this is a discussion about Deltacron from the WHO, which we'll have in just a moment. We'll bring you the whole minute 38 clip all by itself so you can hear, I hope it's got sound on it, you can hear this representative from the WHO talking about it. Now, there's 73 cases identified of Deltacron now in Thailand. And there's two types of Deltacron. There's one that involves a combination of BA1 and BA2. Another one that's BA2 and 2.2. Anyway, the point is that these are different variations, but they are being investigated. One thing they have been able to say that of the cases reported so far, they haven't been any worse. The effects, the symptoms haven't been any worse than the current Omicron. So we say that. Anyway, here is a representative of the WHO, and she's actually describing exactly what Deltacron is.
Yes, we are aware of this recombinant. It's a combination of Delta AY.4 and Omicron BA.1. It's been detected, but there are very low levels of this detection. The recombinant itself, this is something that is expected given a large amount of circulation, the intense amount of circulation that we saw with both Omicron and Delta. And given the sheer number of changes and mutations within Omicron, it was much easier for researchers, scientists, public health professionals, people who are studying the genome to be able to detect these recombinants. We have not seen any change in the epidemiology with this recombinant. We haven't seen any change in severity, but there are many studies that are underway. Unfortunately, we do expect to see recombinants because this is what viruses do. They change over time. WHO has been aware of this because of our technical advisory group for virus evolution. So this is something that's on our radar. It's something that we are monitoring. So it's really critical that we have testing, and it's really critical that we continue with sequencing, that we have good geographic representation of sequencing around the world, and that the systems that have been put in place for surveillance, for testing, for sequencing, right now be reinforced. These are the systems that we have in place, and so we will update you on any new information that we have as soon as we have it.
So there you are. That's from the horse's mouth, representative there of the WHO speaking specifically about what this Deltacron is. So we're not fear-mongering. We're not trying to pass on anything that is fake information. Obviously, they're still not fully aware of what this is, except they know it's a combination of the Delta variant and Omicron and different variations of those, and it's a recombinant. In other words, it's two different variants affecting the same cell. So we don't know much more about it at the moment, except that 73 cases have been identified in Thailand, and at the moment it doesn't appear to be any more severe than the current variants that are floating around.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. Once we come back from the break, we've got 2 Minutes Thailand, today's topic, with Nan, as well as some fun stories regarding how love can make you really, really blind.
A sweet story.
That's right, as well as the upcoming seafood festival in Phuket. That's all coming up after the break. And welcome back to Good Morning Thailand. You're watching the show with Tim Newton and Jay. I've been told plenty of times that perhaps I introduce you and myself a couple too many times.
Oh, just in case you don't know.
Well, just in case people forget halfway, it's possible.
Yes, that's also very possible.
Yeah.
All right, so what's the next topic? Oh, this is actually a very good 2 Minute Thailand with Nan.
Well, before I start with 2
Before we
Minutes
get
Thailand, a quick shout out to Coffee Culture, of course, Thailand's biggest online coffee store for Thai roast coffee and coffee capsules. Visit coffeeculture.asia today. And of course, My Beach Resort, Tim, our new sponsor, My Beach Resort, 5-star hotel in Panwa. Type in the code Thaiger for a 10% discount. Did you know that it's actually recognized in the Michelin Guide?
Well, that interests me.
Consistently for the last 4 years, consecutively.
What was it listed for, I ask you without any notice?
Well, the Michelin Guide is basically, you know, the top restaurants and hotels that have been recognized in an area. So for Phuket, you look at the Michelin Guide and you've got restaurants, but you've also got hotels and places that you should visit.
So it was listed for its culinary endeavours or for
as
being
a hotel.
An outstanding hotel?
For being an outstanding hotel.
Okay, outside broadcast, outside broadcast, outside broadcast. Just saying, it might be nice for us to be down there for a week doing the program.
All expenses paid trip.
Perhaps. Just planting the seed of an idea.
Yeah. If not, you can also book your next trip at My Beach Resort. Link in the description below. Type in the code Thaiger for a 10% discount. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for 2 Minutes Thailand. It's here. This is where you get to learn about the different aspects and culture of Thailand. Today's topic, the Tuk Tuk.
สวัสดีค่ะ Today let me tell you about one of our national symbols Tuk Tuk Thailand In these countries, majority of all the tuk-tuks can be found in Bangkok. People who want to experience the capital city at its base choose tuk-tuks as their transportation. Tourists are often seen getting their picture taken with the open-air vehicle and have a new experience with this charming little vehicle. In the 1930s, Japan released the first auto rickshaws by Mazda. After that, there were a lot of brands in Japan that produced auto rickshaws. The vehicles known as tuk-tuk in Thailand was adapted from Daihatsu, who started production in Southeast Asia in 1960. Thai people use it instead of some law or cycle rickshaws. which was the most popular public transportation during that time. Time passed and taxis were brought in and became the main public transportation. The tuk-tuk industry then had to adjust its look to look similar like a Thai taxi. For this reason, it changed to be unique color, design, and style, which now all people know as tuk-tuk in Thailand. The tuk-tuk was given its name from the sound of the early models. The tuk-tuk sound became a familiar sound to many in need of quick and convenient transportation in Bangkok. It became one of Thailand's most recognizable symbols. The cost for a tuk-tuk ride can be the same or often much more expensive than the cost of a taxi ride in spite of the same traveling distance. But if you want to share stories of your experience with tuk-tuk, do not miss it when you come to visit Bangkok, Thailand.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Tim, do you love riding a tuk-tuk?
I don't very much because, as Nan said, that they can be a bit more expensive than actually going on a motorcycle taxi or a normal taxi.
Well, it's now become all about the experience, not necessarily traveling
Yeah.
as a mode of taxi.
As a way of getting around, I find them noisy. They're sort of difficult to see out of. I don't think they're terribly safe.
Yeah, but they make it fun now, and they drive extremely, crazily.
Oh, yeah, that
Just
makes
to make it
great.
more fun. Yeah, just to make it more fun. Like, oh, I've been to Thailand, I want a crazy tuk-tuk ride.
Also note that in Sukhumvit, they've introduced the electric tuk-tuk
Oh, that's
called
right.
Move Me,
They're from a company called Move Me. Yeah.
which is an electric tuk-tuk. So they're building on the the well-known symbol of sort of transportation around Bangkok, and it has evolved over the years, and that was a really excellent report from Nan.
Yeah.
And we've got some thoughts from Carmel.
Yes, Bacon Overflow said, I never use tuk-tuks because normal taxis are safer, cheaper, and they have AC.
Well, that's a fair point. Mind you, those tuk-tuks go so fast you don't really need AC. It would blow your wig off. It'd blow Jet's wig off.
Yeah.
Carmel?
There's one more from Hans, Tuk-Tuk Mafia. That's all he asked.
Oh, it's not the same as the Phuket mafia. That's the taxi mafia, not really the tuk-tuk mafia.
But
Are they a sort of a...
I feel like there are instances of that because even in Hua Hin, I cannot order a Grab taxi around tuk-tuks. They're always keeping an eye out when their cars are arriving. It's really scary.
Yeah, look, I mean, transportation in Thailand is a little bit of a pioneering spirit.
Yeah.
And if you come over and you don't know anything about Thailand, don't expect the transportation system to go quite as smoothly. The one thing this is slightly deviating from tuk-tuks, but if you go to Dong Muang Airport, you walk out of there. Stop reading the comments when I'm talking.
Sorry.
Or you walk out of Suvarnabhumi Airport,
Yeah.
and they'll be lined up there waiting for you. They'll use their meter. They'll have a uniform. That doesn't happen in Phuket. I don't know why. This is my chance to give the Phuket taxi mafia another dig. Why can't they organise themselves in Phuket to have a well-oiled, clean, efficient, passenger-friendly, tourist-friendly taxi service? I'll leave it at that. I digressed somewhat.
Bangkok has the proper real tuk-tuks as well, by the way. Those three-wheelers, that's a proper tuk-tuk. The one in Phuket, the four-wheelers, they're modified. They're not really tuk-tuks.
Well, they've got four wheels rather than three.
Yes.
And they're the sort of the red...
Yeah,
they're
it's-
Daihatsus.
It's a modified tuk-tuk.
The thing is, most of the tuk-tuks hang around Patong.
Yeah.
And they all have to go over a hill to get anywhere.
Yeah.
And I don't know what those engines are. They're about an 800cc engine. They're not very powerful. To see those things puttering up Patong Hill with four fat foreigners sitting in the back always amuses me. They could have picked a much better type of engine. Or it could be worse. You could be using the Bangkok tuk-tuks, which I don't think are any more powerful. Anyway, there you go.
Enough about tuk-tuks for now. Ladies and gentlemen, a quick shout out to Preston Phelps. Thank you for being a Thaiger member.
Oh, thank you very much, Preston.
Preston Phelps, is he related to the Phelps family?
Who are famous for...
Michael Phelps?
Oh, the swimmer.
Yes.
I very much doubt it. It's probably more Phelps than just the one clan in the US that
Could be.
are into swimming.
Could be. All right. I wanted to mention a quick charity project. Now, we actually got an email from Andy And Andy and his friend Andy, the two Andys, they actually plan to cycle, as in bicycle. They plan to cycle from Bangkok to Koh Samui.
They should have cycled across the Andes.
Yeah, well, no. They're in Thailand and they're going to cycle from Bangkok to Koh Samui. The two friends from York, and they're going to cycle about 630 kilometers in Thailand for the Candlelighters Trust, which is fighting children's cancer.
And that's a charity in the UK.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
So they're going to go Bangkok. They're going to all the way down past Hua Hin, down the highway through Chumpon, down to Suratani, down to Don Sak. They're going to get on the ferry. And then they're going to go to Koh Samui.
Yeah.
Or they could cycle to Suvarnabhumi Airport and take Bangkok Airways to Samui.
On the bike.
On
At all times.
Well, the bike could be down in the cargo area.
Okay.
They're not doing it like that.
Yeah, they're doing it the proper way.
Yes,
Anyways,
yes.
you can find more information about their about their cycling, about their story, and if you would like to help them, there's a link in the description below.
Okay.
All right, let's now talk about some important news. Upcoming seafood festival in Phuket. Ladies and gentlemen, Phuket's Roy Rimle Seafood Festival will be hosted at Nayang Beach, of all beaches. This coming weekend on Friday and Saturday. The festival start at 4 p.m. On Friday and end at 11 p.m. on Saturday, March 25 to 26. The
So
festival.
who's called you over the past 24 hours? Hey, would you please promote our festival in
No one.
Phuket?
No one.
Oh,
This-
where did you get this information from?
This was actually a trending story on the Bangkok Post.
Was not.
Yes, it was. The festival will host over 100 food stands, live Luk Tung Thai folk music. Luk Tung, everybody loves Luk Tung. And cooking competitions with chili paste and grilled seafood. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like,
Say yes to Seafood Festival.
Seafood Festival in Nayang Beach.
Now, Nayang Beach used to be one of my favourite spots to go in Phuket.
Really?
Yeah, I love Nayang Beach. It's a
Just
really
takes
nice.
forever to get there.
Yes, it's a bit of a trip to get there, whichever direction you come from.
Yeah.
But it used to have lots of little stalls along the beach and quite nice cafes. But of course, they had the purge back in 2015 when they just removed all those beachside restaurants, and so that sort of ruined a bit of the character. Although I understand why they do, they're all basically illegal. And then it hasn't quite been the same ever since. So good luck with the Seafood Festival. I'd like to know who paid you to mention that.
You think this is not even a big enough an event to be sponsored or be paid for? I mean, if I was eligible to be paid for this, then a lost opportunity for
Wouldn't
me.
it be correct to say that you can buy really good seafood
Yeah.
in Phuket
Yeah.
any day of the week?
Yeah. Yeah, but imagine if you're a tourist, what are you going to buy seafood and cook it in your hotel room? No, you're not. What?
But they're not
Who
gonna go
comes on
to-
holiday and starts cooking seafood?
They're not going to go. No, but
Where are they going to rent a barbecue?
the best place for seafood, if you
Yeah.
want a recommendation from me, apart from this wonderful seafood festival, is down in Rawai. They do a really nice with all the restaurants. They've got the little area set up across the road, overlooking that horrible beach.
You mean Kaneng?
No. Down in Rawai.
Oh, down in Rawai.
Right down in Rawai,
Oh,
right
what
down
are
the
you
very
talking
south.
about?
Overlooking the
What?
beach with all the long tail boats.
Okay.
Oh,
that's-
come on.
That's what a foreigner would say.
Now, Carmel will support me because I'm sure there will be a lot of people saying, yes, that's a really good place for seafood.
It's an
a bit
okay
overpriced.
place. Yeah, it's an okay place for seafood.
Well,
it's not the
there's-
best.
Yeah, there are people that are actually commenting.
Thank
back
you
on
very
that.
much.
No, Rawai
John
seafood
C-
markets are there. They're good, but they're not the best.
Well,
Where's the best?
The one in Chalong is the best.
which one in Chalong?
Kaneng Song.
But that's...
Kaneng Song, not the first
Oh,
one.
okay. I've been to
So
Kaneng.
there's two restaurants called Kaneng. One is the
Expensive
flashy,
one.
expensive, where
touristy
tourists
one.
goes.
And that's nice.
Yeah, Kaneng 2 is the one where you get
The
the,
locals
real
go.
seafood. Yeah, it doesn't.
Yes.
It's not even a beautiful restaurant. Just in food and fresh seafood, it's the best.
Yes, it's a good location.
See, you agree with me.
Sure, but Rawai is like a place, like a destination. It's got a
where
selection of
expats go, though.
20. Well, I'm an expat.
I know.
And so are you.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yes.
All right. Moving on from seafood, now let's talk about love, because there's nothing more important in life than love.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Say no to hate.
Say no to
yes
hate.
to love.
Say yes to love. Ladies and gentlemen, let me go through this sentence and let me know how you feel about this sentence in the comment section below. A Vietnamese man traveled to meet his girlfriend by sea rowing himself in an inflatable boat from Phuket to India.
So we got the video here. So he's Vietnamese.
Yes.
And he somehow got his way into Phuket. He said he couldn't get a visa to India.
Yes, to meet his wife, I believe. Yeah.
His wife,
Yeah.
who he hasn't seen for 2 years because of COVID.
Yeah.
So instead of, I don't know, spending any money he had on an airline ticket,
Yeah.
he decided to finagle, acquire, perhaps even buy a 1.5 to 2 metre inflatable boat.
Yeah.
And his idea was to row from Phuket across to India, across the Bay of Bengal, which, by the way, has just had a mild cyclone just go through it. That would have been fun if he was caught in that. So he had been out there for 18 days, and he'd made it all the way. Are you ready for this? 80 kilometres from Phuket. And we sort of roughly estimated on the Google machine it's about 2,500 kilometres from Phuket to India. So he had a long way to go. And I'm not sure who alerted them, but the Thai Navy or the Marine Police headed out there and brought him back. Only a young man, though.
Yes, he's young in love.
In love.
Young, dumb, and in love.
By the time he got...
It was actually a sweet story. Yes, it didn't work out, and he failed miserably. But it's the effort that matters. He was so desperate to see his wife that he was willing to get an inflatable boat and row his way to India.
Now, where did he put his provisions? But he sort of went to the market and got about 20 pad thais, stocked them in the boat with a few litres of water from 7-Eleven.
I'm guessing
A few Red Bulls, couple of Chang.
Yeah.
And off he went. And he didn't have like any hat or protect. His hair is he's had it dyed blonde. Mm-hmm. It didn't work particularly well. Maybe it was the sun that did that.
Well, he was out there for 18 nights. He survived for 18 nights just rowing, and he got as far as 80 kilometers. Now,
you'd still be able to look back and see Phuket.
80 kilometers in 18 nights. I guess he was low in energy because that's not too far. I mean,
no.
He must have had to preserve his energy and he went slowly, but it was the determination. He didn't quit, he just got caught.
Well, yeah, and thankfully he got caught because he would have got dead otherwise.
Yeah.
So say no to rowing across the Bay of Bengal. That's all I'm saying.
There we go. You've got the information. He had 10 packs of instant noodles with him.
Brilliant.
Cook it in the sun.
He had 10 packs left, or he had 10 packs in total?
I guess 10 packs that they found. He must
10
have
packs weren't going to get him much further.
Yeah. Okay.
So
magic instant noodles.
Yeah. Did he have a little stove? You wouldn't want the stove to fall over because it may do some damage to your inflatable boat.
I guess.
So good luck to him. I tell you what, if we hear any more about this guy, I'm sure between you and me and our viewers, we'll be able to buy him a ticket to India to
but
see
the problem is not the ticket. He won't get the ticket because he's unable to get a visa.
We'll sort that out.
Okay.
We know people.
Tim will sort it out, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, he'll get you to where you want. Kamal, you've got a comment.
We have a pessimistic comment from the Fubar traveler Ali Brown. 1 week later, she divorces him for being crazy.
Oh no. Crazy in love.
Yeah. Well, I just want to see the movie where Meryl Streep will play the wife, because Meryl Streep plays everybody.
Yeah.
She'll be standing on the shores of, I don't know, what's on that west coast of India there. Not Goa, that's on the east coast.
Yeah.
There must be no, it's on the west coast. She's standing on the east coast, waving as he sort of rows the final strokes.
Who's the actor? Piers Brosnan.
With one packet of noodles left.
Okay.
No, it'd be Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, okay.
They sort of make him look a bit,
older.
Asian.
Oh. Oh no.
Because that's what they do. Do you remember when Sean Connery did You Only Live Twice and they made him look Japanese?
Every episode, there's 2 attempts by you to get us cancelled.
No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a quick break. Once we come back from the break, we'll take some of your questions regarding of any of the topics we've spoken about today.
Oh boy, have we covered topics.
So we'll be back
right
after this.
Say no to comments.
And welcome back. It's now time to address some of your questions.
Do you know what? The movie's coming together. The commenters are really getting into the spirit of this, and they're suggesting a new plot line.
What's the plot?
Well, they're going to
Meet halfway in the middle.
Yeah, sweet. The wide shot with the two little rubber inflatables on the very edge of the screen,
But they get
just
stopped.
slowly coming together, and then they come to a shot from the back, and he's rowing, and he looks over his shoulder, and there she is. There's Meryl Streep,
And then a U.S. because it's a Hollywood movie, so a U.S. Navy ships comes in between, and they're like,
Coast Guard.
Will the lovers meet? A guy speaking on a
Get
speakerphone.
cock-blocked.
And Meryl Streep would be dressed. She'll have a scarf over her
Excuse me, sir. Put down your pedestal. What are they called?
paddles,
So your paddles. Put down your paddles.
now known as pedestals for anybody who rows a boat.
Yeah.
You've got two pedestals,
Yeah.
apparently.
Sick Puppy added a twist, but when they meet, she will be pregnant.
Oh no.
Oh, and then they'll finish, of course, with a Bollywood dance.
We're very invested in this.
Yeah.
The big Bollywood dance on the shores of Calcutta, which is now called Kolkata, I think.
Kolkata. Yes.
Okay.
They've just slightly changed it to annoy people.
So we'll end up with a Bollywood theme song,
Yeah.
but it would have started in the markets of Nha Trang in Vietnam. And his father would be a Vietnam veteran.
It's so mixed.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
We could sort it out.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Any questions?
Anything useful?
The first comment that I saved was from Adam Stainer. He said, "Don't worry, Tim. You look fresh as a daisy."
Oh, thank you very much. I am it's a bit uncomfortable for me to sleep at the moment because I'm not used to having 3 days of
stubble?
Stubble. Call it a stubble.
I get a daily stubble.
Yeah, well, your stubble, you notice after about 1 hour.
Yeah, pretty. It's strange.
What
yeah.
if you let that grow? You would just look like Ned Kelly. You don't know who Ned Kelly is. That would be a
Like
serious beard.
The current David Letterman, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about letting yourself go.
Well, it's a style. He's
Certainly
in retirement.
is. He can do what he wants.
Yeah.
Francisco Mart asked, "Would the government crack down on family and friends gathering for Songkran?"
Oh, look, I think the problem with Songkran, if I could just be serious for a moment, is that it's just that they've cocked this up again. They've released information. They've said Songkran's on, but you can't have water fights. And so people go, oh, okay, what can we do? And okay, well, there's going to be official celebrations in Pattaya and in Bangkok. Oh, great! Oh, we can go to those. Yeah, but there won't be any water splashing. So what are we going to do? Can you drink alcohol? No. Do you have to wear a face mask? Yeah.
They've basically said, we're just going to keep the religious and traditional aspects of Songkran, no water fights, and, no foreigner-style Songkran.
Yes, and look, maybe the locals will really enjoy this. It'll make some great videos, and we look forward to bringing it to you. But for those people that are heading to Thailand thinking they're going to get out their water pistols, packing their water pistols into their overhead compartment on their Airbus journey, they're going to be disappointed.
Just get us. I used to always like to get a very tiny, small water pistol.
you can put into a holster.
Put it into your pocket, and then you come to the office and just go pew pew, and then you hide it.
How do you go?
Pew pew. We got an email today.
Yes.
I mentioned that a water gun goes pew pew, and someone actually sent in an email correcting me on the proper what noise does a water gun make.
What does it make?
I forgot. Hold on.
So while you're talking about that, when you say poo poo, you can write that as what?
It's not poo poo. It's
P-U-O-O-O or something. P-U. That's called
P-E-W. Pew pew.
Yeah.
Okay, that's called onomatopoeia, where you write
Yeah.
what a sound sounds like. Onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
I hope I'm right.
That's how I started to learn Thai.
Onomatopoeia.
Yes.
Okay, but what's the go squirt squirt? What sounds does it make?
Squirt sounds weirder than
Yeah.
pew pew.
It's definitely not squirt squirt. Let's
Okay.
just stick to pew pew.
While you're looking that up,
Yes.
Carmel.
The next comment, this is regarding the video from WHO.
Yes.
Yes, Tom Robinson said that. I'm not sure if I should address this.
Go
She
on.
looks guilty about the lying she's saying to the world, but people will do anything for big money. So when people watched it, they were looking at her eyes and they were like, they feel a little off. when she was presenting.
Yeah, good on you, Tom. Here is a person, a qualified spokesperson for the WHO, highly qualified, and she's giving you accurate information about their current investigations into Deltacron, and all you can say with absolutely no information or knowledge at all is that she's lying. Good on you, Tom.
All right. The message about what sound a water gun makes is actually from Farouk, who says it's more like a
It's spelled. How did he spell it?
KHSH.
KHSH.
Is it?
You're probably
It's not a
right.
pew-pew.
Thanks, Farouk.
Yeah.
Well done.
Pew pew is more like a Star Wars
Yeah.
laser gun.
Okay, Mike asked where to get good seafood in Bangkok.
Oh.
Get to get good seafood in Bangkok
Can I tell you, can I be honest? I always avoid seafood in Bangkok
because
because it's not fresh. I don't believe it's fresh. I don't trust them.
why isn't it fresh?
I just don't trust them.
Huh?
Well, hang on,
just
hang on,
trust
hang on.
issues.
Hey,
Just avoid
let's take your trust issue out of it.
Yeah.
Why isn't it fresh? Because
Well-
Bangkok is what? 10, 20 kilometres away from the coast of the Gulf of Thailand.
Yes.
I fly over it twice a week.
Yes.
I see the fishing boats out there,
Yes.
the hundreds of fishing boats out there,
Yeah.
coursing their way to the Chao Phraya
Yes.
to unload the benefits of the sea
Yes.
and fresh seafood.
Yes.
So what's your problem?
It's just a personal choice. I just prefer...
Based on
I don't know, like, normally, like, what seafood
as bad
restaurants
as
are
Tom
there here?
Robinson, you're just
I just feel
assuming things
I
that
just-
make no sense.
No, I just feel safer having seafood in places like Phuket, where I know where it's my home and I know it's fresh.
Because it's come from the water.
Yeah. So there are restaurants in Phuket where you can actually see what you're going to eat before they cook it.
Well, allegedly.
If you want the shrimp, they pick it up and they cook it in front of you. So that's what I prefer. I like my seafood fresh
That is
and to know
fresh.
where it's from. In Bangkok, I don't know how long they've kept it. Is it stocks? Is it frozen? I don't know, so therefore I choose not to eat it. It's just a choice.
What is
There's
that-
no right or wrong. Stop putting pressure on me.
What's that
Why are you
travel?
always bringing me
the travel
down?
blog. What's that called? The one where people write their opinions.
Sorry?
The people write their travel opinions.
TripAdvisor?
TripAdvisor. So if you put in Bangkok seafood into TripAdvisor, does it come up with hundreds of people going, "I don't trust Bangkok seafood.
Yeah.
I'm giving it 1 star." I bet that doesn't happen. I think you can get good seafood.
Oh yeah, is it possible? Are there popular restaurants that sell a lot of seafood? Yes, I just don't prefer to have seafood when I'm in Bangkok.
So we'd like to apologise to all the restaurateurs along the Chao Phraya who are selling seafood, and the Bangkok Tourism Association.
They don't care whether I eat seafood or not here. They're like, oh, Jay doesn't like to eat seafood in Bangkok.
You just hate.
Whoop-de-doo.
You just hate restaurateurs and seafood.
Yeah, I'm a Bangkok seafood hater.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Say no to seafood.
yeah.
I love the Bangkok seafood. I mean, it tastes the same as seafood anywhere else in Thailand. Well, it's better than getting seafood in Chiang Mai, I suppose. That's not going to be fresh, is it?
Oh, see that? Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Here we go. Ooh, Chiang Mai hater. How dare you say that?
Well,
You
the
gotta
fact
show
is-
some love for Chiang Mai. Why? Because they're surrounded by mountains? Because they like to drink fresh coffee?
Well, this was your argument, saying that Bangkok's so far away from the water, but
And
it's
you
only
took it
20
up-
kilometres away.
And you took it and applied it to it was the same train of thought. It was the same logical sense.
Except that Chiang Mai is like a couple of thousand kilometres away from any water.
We've got vehicles that travel.
Probably a Tuk Tuk, driven by Meryl Streep.
And Leonardo DiCaprio chasing after it.
Karma, one more.
No, there's
50
no
minutes.
Nothing from
Yeah.
John Robinson, what's his name? Robinson. Remember him.
Dan Robinson.
Dan Robinson.
He's your fan.
Oh, not much now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this show has almost been going on for 50 episodes. Sorry, not
50 minutes.
50 minutes.
What episode are we on, by the way?
221, I think. Is today.
221. I love the people when we first started. It was a bit rickety in those early days. It's even more rickety now.
Yeah.
Who said it won't get past episode number 10?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you
I don't
have,
know how or why, but
if you have, please click the like button. Write a comment, share the video, subscribe. More importantly, subscribe.
share it to Meryl Streep because she might be up for that movie.
every video, there's about 45% of the people who are not subscribed. So please subscribe. It does help the channel.
I'm horrified.
And as for now, I'd like to say thank you to Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you,
I
Carmel.
might be back tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you to Carmel.
Thank you.
And thank you to Noom Behind the Buttons. Thank you, viewers, for watching the show. We appreciate your love and support. We hope you have a great Thursday. And I'll see you tomorrow for Lumberjack Fridays.